In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to grow your business through YouTube in 2026. For context, I'm growing my agency with YouTube and I'm generating qualified calls every single week from it. And this isn't going to be your how to grow on YouTube tutorial. I'm going to be showing you the exact step-by-step process that you need to follow to build a YouTube channel that generates qualified leads and revenue, not just subscribers and views. So by the end, you'll never have to watch another video on YouTube growth ever again. How to grow a business through YouTube in 2026. So first is, who is your ICP? I'm going to give you a quick analogy. Is, let's say you need to go to war and someone gives you two options, right? First option is to go on war with Nerf pistol that, as you can see, is like a plastic Nerf gun. It doesn't really do anything. Or would you choose to go with a 50 caliber, huh? Me, if you ask me, I'm going with a 50 cal, right? Like there's no way I'm going with a Nerf gun, right? Doesn't make sense. So what I'm trying to say is, depending on knowing about your ICP, is depending on how much money you will be able to make on YouTube, how you target your ICP, do you know enough to him to actually make titles that actually build curiosity, thumbnails, and etc., right? There's so much that goes into it, and if you know who your ICP is, it's going to be 10 times easier. So for instance, I notice a lot of business owners have the Nerf pistol is because they don't know the desires, the pains, the fears, the motivators of the ICP, also the demographic, the psychographic, right? Like if you don't know this stuff, you won't be able to make on YouTube. You're going to be making generic business videos, but the whole idea is that you don't need to be generic. You need to speak to one specific person, so you can exactly know what type of problems you need to solve for this person. So I want to give you a quick example of how to properly do it. And I'm going to be using my agency, basically my YouTube agency, as an example. So the first one is basically the desires is to get 10 to 30 qualified sales calls per month without constant hustle. And the second one is be the recognized expert, their niche things first. Again, this is just status. So the same thing, you have pain, working 60 hours a week on low leverage tasks like editing, managing freelancers instead of strategy and sales, basically the needle movers in your business, and you're spending 20 hours just editing videos. Then you have to spend 20 to 30k on ads, freelancers, agencies without sustainable return on investment. Now we have the fears. So I've been burned by agencies, freelancers before. What if this is another 7.5k down the drain? What if I'm awkward on video and peers judge me? Obviously, these are all just dumb stuff. At the start, you always have this fear of judgment. It happens. Now we move to the motivators, is building leverage on passive systems versus selling time for money, recognition, and status in their industry. Again, you want to know who, what is their demographic, psychographic. Knowing who you're selling to makes it 10 times easier. And that way you can craft your content strategy based on who you're targeting, and everything becomes so much faster and easier. The next thing is going to be your branding. So it doesn't matter if you build a business of YouTube, you at least need to have some status, some personal branding, how people perceive you, the way you express yourself, the way you dress, the way you talk. It's up to you how you want to do it. This is your personal brand, this is your channel. And if you want to be the professional guy, be professional always. Don't put memes in your videos, etc. This is so important because it's not only building your brand, but you're also building connection with your audience. And you'll be thinking, yeah, it doesn't matter, but it actually matters a lot. It's like you want people to basically always look forward to watching your videos, connecting with you, seeing your knowledge, your expertise, and that's the whole point. It's not only about making money, but again, it's about personal branding. And the easiest ways to do it is to be always consistent. Like you can always put the same fonts in your videos, the same thumbnails. Everything needs to have a correlation to basically build one ecosystem. Now you know how to identify your ICP and how to brand yourself so you stand out from the competition. But now comes the part where what type of video you should be making. So here is the trifecta system that we use, the channel flow that is getting insanely great results for our clients. And let's move on. So the first stage of the trifecta system is your top of the funnel videos. These are your how-to videos, basically educating your audience. This is the part where you basically drive as much as possible eyeballs on the channel. That way you build traffic to your channel. Also after that, what happens is you're going to be driving them to the middle and bottom of the funnel where they get nurtured and converted. That is the whole idea of the top of the funnel. You want to think of it as your step-by-step videos where you basically give a full process breakdown, how to achieve a certain result. Most of the time, these are SEO optimized videos. When someone searches how to come up with video ideas, how to make thumbnails that close high ticket clients, these are specific problems that your ICP needs solved. After that, we move to the middle of the funnel. So this is insanely important because here you actually nurture your audience. Here you show your beliefs, your expertise and knowledge into the videos. This is the type of videos that you show what your ICP needs to be doing. This is basically identifying a problem and you say, okay, this is a big problem in your business, and if you don't fix it right now, you're losing thousands of dollars. Like here is basically the only 3 YouTube videos you need to generate. Don't hire an in-house video editor until you watch this video, right? I'm trying to handle some of your objections and also nurture you because I'm showing my knowledge and expertise into these videos. So this is why this is the nurturing stage. Now, after done with the middle of the funnel, you move on to the bottom of the funnel. So this is basically where you make money. This is the most important part of the whole funnel. So what is this? What type of content you should be making is case studies, client interviews, or super niche information, right? This is basically case studies is, let's say this is a case study. How I make 500K a month with landing pages that look like shit. He's basically breaking how he's doing it. This is super in-depth breakdown of how he's doing it. He's giving everything from A to Z, showing you what he's doing, why he's doing it. And again, this is to show that you actually get results with proven data. Now you have super niche down information is 15 minutes and I'll show you the best YouTube strategy. And then you have client interviews, which is hands down the most valuable asset on your channel. It's basically how client made 13K in 2 months after losing 8K trading, right? That's the whole idea. You want to position your solution, your coaching, consulting, or your services. You want to frame it in a way that when your ICP watches this video, he sees himself in the prospect and he says, okay, if Kris was able to get client from point A to point B and I'm in the same situation as the client, he can do the same for me. So this is basically how the whole funnel works. You have the first stage is attract, you have nurture, and you have word. This is how it works. This is your top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel content. And by the way, if you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner doing 20K to 100K per month, and you want us to build this entire YouTube system for you, so you're only filming 20 minutes per week while we handle everything else, click the first link in the description to book a call with me. But here's what most business owners don't realize about coming up with ideas. Then we move on to the fourth step is ideation. So I'm going to be giving you the 3 main steps of how to come up with ideas and I'm going to be breaking them down. So the first way is to reverse engineer pain points, desires, and motivators, which is the easiest. You basically ask ChatGPT to come up with all your ICP pain points and ask it to reverse engineer them into proven title formats. Now, the second way is to study outliers. First, you need to look at your competitors' top performing videos and see how you can take inspo and make them better. What I mean by that is better packaging, better ideas, better titles, better thumbnails. Whole idea is to not steal, is to basically come up with something new that your niche doesn't know about, how you can make it better, or if you're going to steal something, at least make it better. And another way to make it better is basically improve the script. What I mean by that is, let's say your competitor is making longer videos, but the videos has too much fluff and he basically just filling the video, or it's vice versa where it's too short and he basically didn't say anything. And when you're studying outliers, what you can do is add your own expertise into the video. Let's say you've been trading meme coins for 5 years, right? Let's say 5 years of trading experience in 15 minutes. Again, you can only do this because you have 5 years into the trading niche. Or after making 20 million in high ticket sales, add your own expertise and knowledge into the video. It's even better. It makes it something that you can only do. This is why it's called competitive advantage. Another thing you can do is change the angle of the video is from positive to negative and negative to positive. The last way is to make a better editing style that fits your ICP. Let's say one of your competitors is making videos, but he's making them super over-edited, Mr. Beast edits every 2 seconds. What you can do is just make it more professional that fits your ICP. Obviously, if your ICP is kids, just go from them. Now we have the third way is study your sales calls. You transcribe 10 to 20 of your most recent sales calls and send them to ChatGPT and ask it to list the most asked questions that come up on sales calls. What you need to do is pick the 5 most tasks and create videos about them. Use them as a pre-call sequence and send them to call lists that need nurturing. This is the perfect way to handle pre-call objections. You can do FAQs and so on. Now that you know how to come up with ideas, you need to know how to make thumbnails that build curiosity and get the click. Now, here's the 5th step is your thumbnail. First step to making a great thumbnail is there needs to be attention grabbers. What I mean by that is bright colors, big bold text, human faces, social hacking, relatable emotional cues, money symbols. These work especially good in, again, the business niche is, let's say, how I made $10,000 today. The whole idea is to make it optimized for all devices and make sure everything is visible. The second step is curiosity gap. So the first thing is to make the viewer need to click after noticing the video, and how you do that is by knowing your ICP. You don't know his desires, his pains, his fears, and it's kind of hard. Again, this all comes down to making a great ICP profile, and from there you can just make everything your whole strategy, as I mentioned before. Now we have the simplicity test. Is ask yourself, is it more than 4 words? Cut it down. More than 4 elements? Remove the extras. And is it simple as possible? And does it tell the story clarity at first glance? So how thumbnails works is 80% is psychology and 20% is design. So now is the most important part, I would say, is the script. So I'm going to be showing you the most proven framework that we use at Channel Flow, which is the proof, plan, and promise. This is for your hook. How it should work is the proof is why should people listen to you and watch the rest of the video. Then you have the plan, is basically give a rough outline of what the video is about. The 5-step process, the playbook, the blueprint is basically, in this video, I'm going to be showing you the 5-step process, the playbook that may be 50K and etc. This is how it works. And finally, we have the promise. Here is where you set the expectations for the video. How you're going to get the viewer from point A to point B. For example, from $0 to 10K a month. The promise should be connected to a desire that your ICP has or something new that they're about to learn. Again, here you need to speak about what the viewer is going to be getting from the video. And then we move on to the body. Is the most basic stuff is the hooks. What you need to do first is build anticipation and curiosity and then give them the payoff. You need this to keep the viewers hooked before the next payoff. For example, when you move on from step 1 to step 2, and here is a quick example. So now that you know how to ideate your YouTube videos, you need to know how to properly script them so that way you can generate qualified leads. So now that you know how to do mini segments, mini hooks, the whole idea now is to add CTAs. So what we do is we put 2 CTAs, one at the 30% mark of the video, another one at the outro. So here is the middle of CTA. How it works is put a CTA at around 30% mark of the video, and on average is going to be after your second or first main point. You need to make a smooth transition so it actually sounds like you're helping the viewer, you're not just pitching him your services. Try to do it as naturally as possible and introduce a pain point and position your offer as a solution to that problem. And here's what we do at Channel Flow is always give before you ask for anything. Then you have the outro is keep it as short as possible, don't waste time. Mention a pain point and position your offer as a solution. That way you make a smooth transition. Optimal for session time is the most valued metric on YouTube. Again, this is your most valued metric, and what you need to do is open another loop pain point. Here is how to do it. Example. Before think about hiring an in-house video editor to handle all of this yourself, which most business owners do and immediately regret, make sure you watch this video on screen where I break down exactly why that's a massive mistake and what you should do instead. As you can see, this is just funneling people to another video, and that way we have the session time as high as possible. And why you should be doing it is because that way YouTube can put ads on your videos as much as possible, and that way they make money and you get rewarded by the algorithm for that. So that's everything I have on growing your business with YouTube in 2026. There is a lot here, but if you take one of these things that I've mentioned, then I'm sure you'll see growth in your business as little as 30 to 60 days. But if you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner doing 20K to 100K per month and you're interested in working with us to help you build a YouTube channel that generates 10 to 30 qualified calls per month without you spending 20 hours per week on creating videos, then click the first link in the description to book a call with me and I'll speak to you soon. And before you think about hiring an in-house video editor to handle all of this yourself, which most business owners do and immediately regret, make sure you watch this video on screen where I break down exactly why that's a massive mistake and what you should do instead.